We're watching Xanderhal talk about Keffals. Obviously stuck by her for years. He's in the Vosh cult, and the little trans Vosh cult. And now he's disowning her because all the walls have closed in. So let's take a look.
Okay.
Sonic says, remember guys, streamers only exist because of your support, okay guys? So if you're enjoying the content, remember to donate, okay? That's what's... Do you like the hand gesture as well? That's the Sonic hand gesture, isn't it? He does in the Sonic says.
Alright. Whew. Alright, big ol' meme segment. Here we go. Y'all know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1, action. Alright, everybody. Welcome back, welcome back. So, you guys might have noticed that over the last, I don't know, 5 months maybe, I haven't done a lot of drama content. That is to say, I haven't gotten involved in much drama, and I haven't really covered much drama even, like from the outside. And a large part of this has to do with a sort of...
Thank you for the $20. Thank you, thank you.
Super chatted $20. Gotta go spaz.
Thank you, thank you.
Shift I made after the last big drama I was involved in. Now, for those of you guys who are around, you might remember that 5 months ago, maybe 6 months ago by now, I don't exactly remember, like 4.5 months maybe, I got into drama with another content creator who I used to be friends with, and who used to be very beloved in my community.
Literally need a Reddit cares message after watching this guy speak for 2 minutes. Is that the thing that Reddit sends you automatically when you post something they see as like suicidal ideation or whatever?
And that was Keffals. Now, from the outside, the drama was as simple as like, Keffals complimented Shu, and I got mad about it, and then, like, stopped being friends with Keffals.
Wait, sorry, is that what he's saying happened?
Who I used to be friends with, and who used to be very beloved in my community. And that was Keffals. Now, from the outside, the drama was as simple as, like, Keffals complimented Shu, and I got mad about it, and then, like, stopped being friends with Keffals. And because that was the framing a lot of people got of the entire situation, most people, understandably, if that's what they think happened, did not like me because of that. And I lost a ton of subscribers during that drama. My views didn't really take an impact, surprisingly enough, but, like, my sub count certainly did. Now, a lot of this has to do with the fact that Keffals...
Your new setup is much better than Xanderhal's. I think my setup's better than Xanderhal's too, actually. I think my setup's great. I've got one of the best setups going, actually. I'm thinking, guys, we're going to get some LED strip lights. I think that's the plan now, okay? Red LED strip lights. It's going to be so cool. I'm going to look like every other retard with a fucking black background and LED strip lights. I'm going to be like a Let's Player. It's going to be awesome.
Milked the fuck out of it. Like... numerous...
So the audio sucks now? Or the mic position's different? What do I... Oh, man. Don't say the audio sucks. Bug, we're gonna have to... I'm gonna need your expertise, I think.
Numerous live streams when I would, like, say a sentence and a half about her in passing outside of a segment on my stream. And it hit my channel pretty hard. I will admit, it hit the channel quite hard. And in the aftermath of all that, there was a lot happening behind the scenes you guys didn't know. So,
color lights are overplayed. You should get a strobe.
Gosh, I don't want to, like, say too much stuff and, like, delve into people's privacy and stuff. But what I will say is there was a lot of pressure on me to...
Okay, this is the last thing we're saying about the setup. Okay, we need to focus on the content. Have you considered flying in a Canadian to spend 6 months crookedly taping a bunch of glossy fan art to the walls? No, I haven't. I haven't considered doing that, actually. I've learned from other people's mistakes, and I will not be flying in a Canadian to spend... Okay.
Not spill the beans on a lot of the stuff we're going to be talking about today. Many of the things that we're about to go over, I knew about. I knew about them
and you said nothing
before I burnt the bridge with...
I feel like we've got to constantly remind people when this as everyone scatters away from Keffals, as Brianna Wu disavows, Xanderhal disavows, we all have to just remember, all these people stood by, cheered it on, supported it. All the evidence was always there. Everything was always plainly obvious to anyone who'd been following it. But they chose, deliberately, to turn a blind eye for their own benefit or for some perceived political benefit. Whatever it was, they chose to turn a blind eye. So they don't get to scamper away now. That's not how it works. You don't get to be the fucking cockroach, scampering away from the nuclear blast, now that it's mainstream to hate Keffals, okay? That's not how this goes. That's not how this works. You enabled it. You are the reason it kept going. You helped shut down criticism. You defended actions.
With Keffals and the drama started, but I was not... It would not have been right for me to have talked about it at that time. There were other people with far more clout, pull, and influence than I who were working on exposing these things, and me dropping it in a way to defend myself from Keffals' dishonesty would have just done a disservice to those trying to expose her for this stuff. And actually, like...
Okay, look, I'm going to give Xanderhal one tiny bit of credit here. If back in that drama, he actually made a decision to not release that information in order to preserve Diorio and Mutahar looking into it, then that's cool. That's a good choice. But I don't believe that is the case. I think he just didn't release it because White Nervosa threatened him.
Inform people. Now, you might be thinking I'm referring to a recent video from 4 days ago put out by large YouTuber SomeOrdinaryGamers.
Oh no, it's
called
the Star Oxford thread.
Fraud.
Is that what's
Now, I did give this video a brief watch. Or actually, I didn't really. My friends did in Discord. They screen shared it, and I watched it like from
exactly. Why it was White Nervosa. I don't think he did it because of any altruistic motivation to expose Keffals. I think it was White Nervosa told you, listen, Zan, if you don't do that, otherwise I'm taking away your website. I'm taking away your website, Zan.
Screen share, and we watched like maybe 10 or 15 minutes into it, and we're honestly like kind of disappointed in it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was a little excited about the video. Admittedly, I have a bias against Keffals because of, like, the past history and all that stuff. And I admit I was a little disappointed. It felt like a video made to pander to the large group of people online that already exist that hate Keffals, rather than a video meant to educate a broad swath of people, even those that might be fans of her, on the shit she's been up to. And unfortunately, it's very front-loaded with, like, the weakest arguments and back-loaded with the strongest. So you kind of...
Isn't it a timeline? Isn't it chronological? Doesn't it kind of go chronologically? Isn't, like, the recent stuff... Well, not really, because the Catboy stuff's sort of at the end. Maybe not. How is it front-loaded with the weakest arguments? What are the weakest arguments? Let me say, I'm open to Xanderhal not being retarded. I'm always open to people proving me wrong, okay? So I will take a look. Maybe he's right about this video. I don't have any attachment to Mutah's video.
I am definitely getting cancelled.
Okay, so the first fucking frame is, if anyone finds out how I spent the GoFundMe, I'm definitely getting cancelled. And this shit about furniture and helping friends out and buying streaming gear. How is this front-loaded with the bad arguments? The first fucking frame is her admitting that she basically defrauded people.
Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and today's video is one that required quite a fair bit of research, and it's one that I should have released a few weeks ago. It's a video that might be years old, where she alleged misaction against law as a Catboy's political streamer named Bosch. By the end of the year, her Twitter surpassed this amounted to coordinating with her ratio him. Chong in 2022, real internet beef in early 2022. On March 22nd,
okay, of course. Okay, so Xanderhal not on the Destiny train. Okay.
She immediately private and on the sites. And what was the reason? Star was only documents, but that document and instinct, he was the reason they found out about her. Later, she admitted it was her constant instigating that
I don't understand where the bad arguments are.
This policy in donation.
I mean, she did absolutely, like, you know, she 100% lied about it, brigaded Destiny, you know, was doing everything she could to fuck his girl. I don't understand how this is a bad argument. Like, who on earth? I'm sorry, but biggest Destiny hater going here, okay? Who on earth is on Keffals' side in Destiny versus Keffals? Who on earth thinks that's a bad argument or that Destiny was doing something wrong in that engagement? The thing Destiny did wrong was not going absolute full bore on his fucking legal threats and trying to fucking take it to the cleaners and get those fucking journalists to retract like he said he was going to. That's the only thing Destiny fucked up in that engagement, was not kneeling on her at the time. Not going hard enough.
Even with their support, however, it seemed like there was no escape. Trolls kept figuring out her location.
And then this is about the fact that you can't escape doxing by moving country. You can't escape online harassment by moving country. Yeah, I mean, okay. Xanderhal's a fucking retard. Whatever. Let's go back to this.
Kind of have to get through an hour of kind of points before you get to the real hard-hitting stuff, which is why I think you'll be happy to hear that a very well-respected member of Lefty Twitter, who is pretty known for being, like, pro-Palestine, good meme poster and whatnot, very good at, like, on the activist side of Twitter, made this big viral thread. Now, I can confirm much of the evidence that is shown in this thread is real. I have seen it.
This is the first frame of the video you just said is front-loaded with bad arguments. This is the first frame of the video you just said was front-loaded with bad argument. Man, I can't. YouTube terms of service does not allow me to accurately portray my feelings about Xanderhal. It's... I can feel like the bubbling rage, you know, where you're just like, dude, this is crazy. Immediately. Going
back months ago.
Yeah, exactly. It's community approved criticism. This is the trans criticism, okay, guys? Listen, don't listen to that. Okay, don't listen to that Mutahara on YouTube, okay? That cis man. Let's listen to the community approved trans criticism, okay?
Okay.
I know it's the exact same. I know it's literally the same thing, the same point. But this is approved, alright, guys?
It would have just destroyed any ability to just, like, spread this shit as wide as possible and make it clear what's going on if I just dropped it self-defensively against Keffals. I would have just been a complete selfish asshole to do that. I'm so glad I held my tongue on this until now, so it could be exposed by people who have a much more...
Dude. I'll bring it up later. Okay,
at least right now,
I shouldn't get distracted.
Far more trustworthy position than I, it seems, after the Keffals stuff. So let's go over it. So, Rox, the Sun Cult Priestess, or Staroxvia, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. The @ is Staroxvia, tweeted this. Below, I will prove, 1, Keffals misled donors and spent $100,000 dishonestly. Remember, she did a big GoFundMe and raised $100,000. Actually, more than that, and the GoFundMe, I believe, is still up and raising money. 2, her legal case, quote-unquote, with Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario is dead, and Keffals has been lying about its status to avoid questions related to the money. And this is the first screenshot. Yes, this is real, guys. This is not fake. This is an editing and video production chat with Keffals and some of her team. Keffals says, I feel really bad watching the GFM deplete. GoFundMe money, deplete. The rest will cover a year rent and my psych fees if I talk to a psychologist once a week for the next 11 months. Ellen tried to comfort me, reminding me it was an emergency fund. Arif, I don't know who this is. I think the name sounds familiar, says, Ellen's right, but I definitely understand that feeling. Whenever I've had a windfall that I wasn't originally planning on having,
I've got nothing to say because everything I'm just thinking is just horrible, man. This is pissing me off so much. He's not even saying anything. It's pissing me off. The fucking music, this is not fake, guys. That's right, guys. This is not fake, okay, guys? It's so he's such an enraging little man. Fuck me. Oh,
felt
God.
Bad and it was depleted. Keffals says, I keep trying to think of how it depleted so fast, and it's just so many little things. Travel and replacing furniture and helping my friends out and buying new streaming gear and clothes. The next message from her is, if anyone ever finds out how I spent the GoFundMe money, I am definitely getting cancelled, lol. Anyway, sorry for venting. I'm gonna go now. I'm still heading to Dingle, lol. I don't know what that means at all. I don't know what... heading to Dingle?
Yeah, the pill zombie monotone voice. Man, it's so real. The SSRI drool here. Oh, yeah, this is not real, guys. Yeah, fucking just... Oh, man.
Does anybody know what that means? Is that some, like, lingo I'm not, aware of or something? Man, even she knew? Oh yeah, she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. The next part of the thread continues. I've been investigating Keffals' GFM GoFundMe for a long time, and now that a few pieces of evidence are public knowledge, I can share what I've found. TLDR, the above screenshot is real, I can confirm, and the legal case the GoFundMe was supposed to go towards likely isn't happening. Strap in, this is a doozy. First, what exactly did she say she would spend the GoFundMe on? According to the GoFundMe description, $20K for recouping losses / moving to a safe location, the remaining $80K plus for a legal fund. It's important to take this at face value since it's what she's saying directly to people donating. If the goal is met, I will have raised enough to recoup my losses and move immediately to a safe location. If the goal is exceeded, funds will be allocated to a legal fund to protect myself against ongoing and future threats to my safety. Oof. Update. The original moving goal was met, but the hotel I was staying at while looking for a new place to live was doxed. That is true. I am now in hiding. I am keeping the GoFundMe up, but all donations are going directly to my legal fund, which I'll be using to seek justice. Ugh. That's not good, guys. Call me Keffals the way I need 100K? Fuck, man. Holy shit.
You helped her get it. You helped her get it. While people were saying it was bullshit.
On Twitter, Keffals has been less clear about how money was allocated, but here's one figure I want to call attention to. This shortly after the GoFundMe launch, and she this was shortly after the GoFundMe launch, and she gives a lower estimate of 60K for a trial, and that most of the GoFundMe is going towards legal fees. Woke up and I'm seeing tender queers mad at me for saying mean words at people mocking me for raising money for legal fees, and to move after I could have died because I got doxxed and fascists weaponized the police to attempt to murder me. I am the victim of a hate crime. Grow up. A 3-day civil trial in Canada is $60,000. She is the victim of a hate crime. Like, she was pretty mercilessly doxxed and swatted. That's not a good thing at all. No amount of, like, being a bad person on her part will justify, like, the transphobic motivations and harassment behind those that were attacking her at that time. The vast majority of the money...
I'm sorry, okay. I don't necessarily accept this narrative. I don't accept the transphobic narrative. I don't. Is this not... Okay. I don't like talking about, a lot of specifics with doxing stuff, because it's like, it's a bad omen. It's a bad omen. It's bad news. It's not a good idea. Now, my understanding is that there have been a lot of swattings relating to KF, people on KF, people covered by KF, people around KF, AF people, sector people, all this sorts, and that a significant amount of these were coming from like 1 or 2 people who weren't doing it because of doing it as like I say troll. It's not really a troll because it's like fucking swatting. But you know what I mean. They're not doing it because they've got some issue with trans people. They were doing it to like a bunch of people. It wasn't going for trans people. That was my That's my understanding. No, I don't believe it was done by AF. It's this. There's some guy who got found. I don't want to say like names and stuff because I just don't like baiting stuff. I just think it's a bad idea to talk about it too much. But there's like this one guy who got found out. I believe he got caught like a year ago or something, within the last year. Who was doing a lot of the swattings over the last few years. he had even SWAT in his name. If you maybe know who I'm talking. It's Stylo. Yes.
I raise is going to pay lawyers, and the rest is to move and pay me and my staff because I can't work until I'm safe. Making a trauma victim explain this a week after it happened is fucked up. In order to ask for help, I had to go public and confirm my home address to the people who want me dead. The crowd that thinks me quote tweeting them is violence, laughs at me for facing actual police violence, is not getting any sympathy. I do not care how my fans treat them. She goes back and forth on like whether her fans are very chill and all that, and she's like a very chill community, and whether or not they're like an army that will destroy you if you like get in her way. Like it's back and forth depending on whether it's more convenient to be like a little small bean or like she's a little bit like Shu. Jesus Christ, it just connected. She's just like Shu. Fuck me. How did I not figure this out sooner? She also reiterates that the non-legal portion of the fund is going towards moving and recouping her losses, but in my investigations, I found that she had no concrete losses to recoup. Keffals was swatted on August 5th. She later said that all her devices were returned 3 days later. Oh, this gets so fucking juicy, by the way, guys. Yeah, like, she did not need the money for, like, recouping her losses from the swatting. There were no losses financially from the swatting.
Well, then, yeah, Xanderhal, you could have made that statement a long time ago.
She got her stuff back practically immediately. The swatting wasn't good, but it wasn't the police's fault. Turns out they didn't point rifles in her face while she was in bed. Turns out they didn't dead name her.
Yeah, we've known that for a long time. We've known all this for ages, Xanderhal. You weren't talking about this a fucking year ago, were you?
They didn't misgender her. In fact, they immediately started working with her to pursue those that had swatted her.
We know!
She immediately walked
We've
back
known
saying, okay,
for
well, they
2
changed their
fucking
mind
years,
on being
Xanderhal.
transphobic and are now going after the swatters.
We've
So I
known
don't
that
wanna
for
do
2
this illegal
fucking
fund now,
years,
I don't wanna do the
Xanderhal.
process now because that could
Dude, you can't say this now. You know, you don't get to say this now. No, you don't get to. This homo does not get to fucking. We've known this for so long. Where's your other videos talking about this, Xanderhal?
It could complicate their search for the swatters. I don't want to complicate that. Wait, how do we know it was all a lie? Were you watching when I read the DMs that are used in the screenshot at the very start of this thread where she says, my career is over if they ever find out what I spent the GoFundMe money on? And her going on to say she's depleted it all on travel? Because that's a confirmed real screenshot. I was sent by someone in that chat months and months and months ago. Anyway.
I eventually got my stuff back in like 3 days and got an apology from the chief of police.
That's nice.
So yeah, that was really nice. Not nice how they responded to the situation, but I'll take it. I eventually got my stuff back.
So the police didn't really do anything wrong. They just did their jobs. It was the swatters who did the wrong thing. They took advantage of the police, and they said exactly what they needed to say to the police, lying to them, to get them to arrive with potentially lethal force at her residence. Which is, of course, horrible, but not the police's fault.
No shit.
What the fuck? Why would you lie about transphobia for clout?
No shit.
Why would you lie about transphobia for clout? Keffals? Is she, like, I think she's definitely received a lot of transphobia. But, like, let's be honest, guys. Keffals exploded in popularity. Keffals, in the span of, like, 2 months, went from being, like, a literally who to a name that everybody knew, for better or for worse.
Yeah, and you were happy to tag along for the ride, weren't you? You were happy to be in the fucking, in the trail of that, weren't you? On the fucking coattails. You were perfectly happy when it was on the up to be along for the ride. But now that it's not cool to be like that anymore, now that it's cool to be on the other side, it changes. Oh, curious that, isn't it, Xanderhal? You fucking wretched snake prick.
Right? And a lot of that was on the
man,
back
I
of
fucking
the
hate
victim
these people,
persona
dude.
that she donned after the very real victimization she faced by her swatting. I think she realized that, like, her brand, being that she is a victim, is very effective when the, like, Drop Kiwi Farm stuff happened. She
Yeah, no
spotted and was
shit,
able to, like,
retard.
go on TV and go on, like, the news and get, like, tons of subscribers and shitloads of new followers and collabs with constant left-wing and mainstream creators. Like, I think she realized
this
very
guy's
fast that
parents
being
were
the
not
famously
abusive,
victimized
okay.
trans woman who's, like, the bullying sponge for transphobes is a really profitable, in her case, grift, like, in the online left, and she ran with it. Guys, name one situation, one drama Keffals has been in where she has not spun it or presented it to you in such a way in which she is being victimized. Not that somebody's being an asshole to her, not that someone's just being weird or out of pocket, but that she is being victimized. One drama where she hasn't spun it that way. I can't think of one. Even when I was friendly with her, and I was cool with Keffals, I can't think of a time when she didn't try to victimize herself.
This is new information?
Even, no matter how mundane the drama is. Somehow it gets back to some stuff. Xanderhal, out of curiosity, how much did Willie Mac get right about her? A decent amount, honestly. Like, when it comes to Hassan and Keffals, you'd be surprised Willie Mac is pretty on point. But this goes on.
And Willie Mac's video was just a retelling of some parts of the Destiny Manifesto. So why, exactly, did you not have this opinion 2 years ago?
This goes on. We're not done yet. We certainly are not done yet. This is corroborated by a property bag shown in a CBS story about Keffals swatting, the label of which clearly shows that Keffals' desktop tower was returned to her on August 8th, which was before Keffals launched her GoFundMe on August 9th. That's right, not only did Keffals say she got her stuff back 3 days later, but there is a literal property bag from the London Police Service that literally shows when she got her stuff back, because they sign it whenever they return your shit. And then they, like, give you the stuff inside the bag and save the bag for, like, archiving and whatnot. And so, before she started the GoFundMe, we're like 20 to 30K of it was supposed to be dedicated to replacing her computer stuff, her phone, etc., to like recoup her losses, quote unquote, replace the stuff that supposedly the police weren't giving back. In reality, it wasn't spent. It wasn't spent on any of that, it seems. How could it have been, unless you bought like another computer setup? Additionally, a former editor of Keffals shared with me a copy of Keffals' A former editor of Keffals shared with me a copy of Keffals' financials from May 22nd to July 2023, in which you can clearly see in it that in August 22nd, or 2022, Keffals earned over 13K. Jesus Christ! That is so much money.
I don't know what that laugh
Guys,
was.
I have never earned that much money. In even 2 months, I don't think. 13K, well, maybe. I might have made, there might have been, like, the best 2 months of my streaming career combined, I might have made 13K. I don't think I've ever made that much in a single month, dude. Yeah, I think I might know who provided this, by the way, which is actually higher than the surrounding months. Interesting. Oh my fuck. How do you burn through this much money, dude? Like, if I had 1 month where I made 11K, that would be a nest egg that I'd be like, that would be such a cushion that it wouldn't slowly, like, deplete. It would build. Like, you could eat 11K? I don't know, guys. Like, admittedly...
This is the guy... Dude, this is the guy who refused to get a fucking bank account and just used PayPal. And so his ex-girlfriend was able to drain every fucking cent he made for like 2 years out of his account. This is saying, no, I'd be way better with that money. I'd be way better with that money. He didn't notice it was happening for months either. Yeah, exactly. She drained so much money from him, and he had no idea. He had no idea. He's like, no, if I got 11K, if I got 11K in 1 month, that'd be a nest egg that lasts me forever. I'd basically retire off of 11K.
I've got expensive rent and bills and stuff because I live in a house rented in Seattle. But bro, 11K, that's a cushion that for me, I could build on for a while. Like, I don't know how the fuck you deplete 13K even. It's just like, how do you make this much money consecutively and have no money? How do you spend that way? I don't know what I would buy.
Coke.
Dude, I'm still not done spending my pandemic money, yeah. Additionally, a former editor of Keffals... Oh, yeah, we read that one. To reiterate, Keffals did not have any losses to recuperate. She wouldn't see a decline in revenue until 03/2023 after she went to rehab. Keffals also very likely didn't use the 20K to reallocate or relocate to Ireland and instead paid at least a significant portion of it out of pocket. Guys, I've flown on planes before, and I've bought a lot of plane tickets for my mom to come visit me. I bought a lot of plane tickets for my mom to come visit me. International flight is like, depending on how far out you buy the tickets, you can get like well under like $400, $500. You can get tickets to fly. It's gonna be a little extra for the more checked luggage you want, which, you know, if you're moving, it's gonna be a bit more. But like, moving country to stay with a friend, which I believe is what Keffals did, move to another country to stay with a friend. We're talking what it costs to ride to the airport, the cost of the plane ticket to Ireland, and for the like luggage, and the cost of transportation from the airport to your friend's house. And then like food once you're there, which you've already had to, like food's cheaper in other countries right now, like Ireland, I think. So it's like, not to mention Ireland has lower cost of living, I think, than America does because their wages are lower, comparatively. So if you're a YouTuber making USD and a fair amount of it in Ireland, that shit should go a long way, right? Like, she's in fucking Ireland, Northern Ireland. Your money should go a long way there. Isn't that like rural, like alt Ireland or something? How the fuck do you burn through 13,000 US dollars in fucking Northern Ireland? Moving country isn't that expensive when you're just taking your shit and booking it. In the UK, food is expensive as hell. Is Northern Ireland part of the UK? I guess so. I don't... Listen, guys. Once again, I have not been to these countries. They are fictional places to me, as real as Middle-earth. To reiterate, Keffals did not have any losses to recuperate. Oh, yep. Yeah. By 9/4/2022, Keffals was established enough in Ireland for publications to write about it. Oh my god, what is up with my nose? The next day, she would have an infamous convo with Winter, where when asked if she had used GoFundMe funds for a private investigator strongly implied that she hadn't spent any of it yet. Winter, I don't know how much money you think I make, but I was going to make 6 figures this year before the GoFundMe happened. Oh my god. That wasn't the question. Quit flexing on minorities, Whitey. I don't mean to, I'm sorry. Oh my god, wait, she was set to make 6 figures before the GoFundMe happened. That's a lot of money to evaporate, man. That's 200K minimum that she must have made in that span, right?
Yeah, this is just so insufferable. You could have known all of this. You did know all of this. You chose to look away. You chose to let this keep happening. You chose to not say anything. You knew she was doing bad shit. All the evidence was in front of you, and you chose not to say anything. It's so... Dude. I can't fucking stand it. I can't fucking stand it. It's so annoying. It's like the Mama Max shit. It just is. It's the same thing. Fucking gay-ass Moothart being at last minute is like, oh, you know, I actually never saw any evidence for any paedophiles being arrested.
Right? I'm not wrong, am I? Dude. Did you pay the private investigator out of the GoFundMe money? No, the GoFundMe is currently in savings until I need to use it. My skin is super dry today. I used my, like, hyper-aggressive benzoyl peroxide face soap on my nose in particular, and now it's all dried out and itchy. I should probably use some face lotion on it. That would help a lot. But no rest for the wicked. We must continue. In this exchange, you can also see how she could afford this. She was on track to make 6 figures in 2022, which is corroborated by her financials from earlier. This also adds context that up to this point, she never mentioned she's fucking rich, or at least she was at the time. This adds gravity to the situation, given that trans people are often forced to beg for scraps online, so an already wealthy woman using a GoFundMe for an important cause instead of using it to double her income isn't just evil, or, well, her using it for to double her income instead of an important cause. It isn't just evil, it's an insult to every trans person struggling to survive. Just before I get away from myself, here's a link to the original exchange with Winter, which shows that it occurred on September 5th. I hate the Twitter character count. Okay, apparently this is like a video that shows all of the stuff that proves this is real and not photoshopped or whatever. Anyways, while it seems that Keffals didn't need the GoFundMe to get to Ireland, she wouldn't settle down until October. This brings us to the screenshot taken by a former editor for Keffals on 11/30/2022, where Keffals says all of the GoFundMe money has either been spent or earmarked. This is once again the same messages. Feels really bad watching the GoFundMe money deplete. The rest will cover a year rent and my psych fees. If I talk to a psychiatrist once a week for the next 11 months, Ellen tried to comfort me, remind me it was an emergency fund. I keep trying to think of how it depleted so fast, and it's just so many little things: travel and replacing furniture, and helping my friends out and buying new streaming gear and clothes. If anyone ever finds out how I spent the GoFundMe, I am definitely getting canceled, lol. Anyway, sorry for venting. I'm gonna go now. I'm still heading to Dingle, lol. Cooked. This one line really does just set it in stone, doesn't it? If anyone ever finds out how I spent the GoFundMe, I am definitely getting canceled, lol. Keffals, in just 4 months, potentially just 2 months if it really hadn't been touched by September, blew through 100K. On traveling, not moving, furniture, friends, new stream gear that she did not need, since she got her devices back after 3 days, and clothes. Dingle's a city in Ireland. Oh, funny. That's a hilarious name. The rest was for a year of rent and therapy, neither of which was outlined by the GoFundMe. I can even tell you how much she spent on rent.
I can't do this. I can't watch this shit. It's so bad.
Which is 28.8K.
Oh, man. There are Xanderhal fans. These people exist.
And for clarity, yes, she says her rent in Ireland is $400 a month, but she would not move to Ireland until June 2023 when her visa was approved. Before then, she was living in Canada, which is when she allocated a year of rent at 2.4K a month. Got it? Got it. For a moment, I thought, like, man, this feels kind of obsessive, but then I remembered, hold on a moment, this is $100,000 of her fans' money that is in question here. It is not obsessive to investigate something and whether or not someone's being honest when there is 100K on the line. The worst thing that can happen is that they're innocent, and you just prove they're innocent, and maybe give them a slightly hard time at doing so. That's the worst thing that can happen in these situations. It really does seem. My visa just got approved. I'm moving to Ireland this month. I thought you were coming to Belfast. I said Northern Ireland this time, or last time, and Republicans got mad at me, so I used the Republic flag this time, so Loyalists get mad at me. I'm just keeping things on equal footing. Remember, she said and reiterated that most of the GoFundMe would go toward a legal case. That a civil case, which still has not happened, would cost a minimum of 60K
Flamenco was right.
Days,
Flamenco was
by the
right.
end of
Fuck it,
2022,
man.
the money she said was for the legal fund was gone or allocated elsewhere. This means that none of the 100K went to any of what she said it did. Which brings us to my second point. Her legal case with the HRTO. Fuck. Fuck. What does HRTO stand for? Shit. I'm trying to remember. I know it's like the police department, but what does the acronym stand for word? I'm trying to remember. Gruh. Isn't this fraud? Allegedly, she has committed fraud. If this is true. Allegedly. For legal reasons, I must say allegedly. I don't know if Keffals might actually get litigious. How funny would it be if, like, we went from a crazy bitch trying to sue me because I talked about allegations she had while attacking Keffals, like while she was attacking Keffals, and I was defending Keffals, and then Keffals got mad at me for covering this.
This fucking blows, dude. This fucking blows. This seriously blows. I hate this guy. This is so boring. His coverage sucks. His fucking stream sucks. Just sitting and ranting about his fucking skincare routine. What does that acronym stand for? What did that acronym stand for again, guys? What does that acronym stand for? Get me fucking just... Dude, I'm fucking loose. Give some commentary. Give some fucking commentary. Talk about something.
She has, and guys, I am not... Like, she should be wealthier than me. I would not be worth suing. I would really not be worth suing. Anyway, this means that none of the 100K went to any of what she said it did. Which brings us to my second point, her legal case with the HRTO, that isn't going anywhere. Buckle up, fuckers, because we're only halfway done. As I've followed the progression of Keffals' legal case, her public and private plans constantly shifted and didn't often align. As a result, nailing down a robust timeline of what she was saying publicly and privately regarding her legal case proved convoluted and unhelpful. So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt and assume her most recent plans, a complaint filed with the Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario, that's the acronym, on April 10th, 2023, remember that date because it's important, are consistent with her initial GoFundMe for a legal case. Her video wasn't uploaded until May. That's not a video. Her video wasn't uploaded until May, but various press outlets announced it around April 21st, using a press kit Keffals put together. Almost all of them including a clause like this saying there was no information as to when the claim would be heard. Yeah, so you guys get an idea of, like, how effective Keffals' like, brand was within the online left-wing space at the time, with the fact that she was making press kits for media figures to, like, know what information they can and can't report on, like, what they have her wishes to talk about and don't. Miss Sorrenti is concerned not only for herself, but for all transgendered individuals who may interface with LPS or who may be experiencing or have or will experience the same or similar discriminatory treatment. Miss Sorrenti believes many transgendered individuals are not able to stand up to LPS for discrimination for fear of reprisal and because of the already overwhelming stress and anxiety felt as a result of mistreatment by LPS. No information is available concerning when the claim will be heard. A London police spokesperson declined to comment on the complaint. Yeah, she was a big shot for a while there. Thankfully, the process for filing a claim is publicly available! Ooh. Since the HRTO receives an application, the applicant receives a letter either informing them the app needs work or it's good and has been sent to the other party, i.e. the London police. After some back and forth, the parties convene before the HRTO to mediate and try to reach a settlement. Failure to do that will then lead to a hearing. You might think that this process has an open-ended time frame, so it'd be expected we haven't heard anything, but that's wrong. Unfortunately for Keffals, the HRTO sets a deadline of 1 year after the initial filing for a hearing, should one occur. Keffals' application was filed on April 10th, 2023. The deadline for a hearing was a month ago. There was no evidence of a hearing. We haven't heard anything about mediation. We haven't gotten confirmation that her application was accepted. We haven't even heard about the letter she was supposed to receive right away. And all of these things are long past due. I will now catalog everything we have heard. The next we would hear about the HRTO case was in October 2023 when the London police concluded an investigation into the sexual assault allegation Keffals made in her application. And notably, the London police were made aware of the allegation through the media, not the HRTO. London police learned the sexual assault allegation from a media report on April 23rd and notified Ontario Police's watchdog. Wait. In the claim, Keffals alleged a female officer pressed her hand against her breast during her arrest and said, "Yep, it's a she." Guys, I don't think that ever happened. Like, the fact that it turned out there was no cases of misgendering or dead naming. In fact, she outright lied about the name on her items when she received them being her dead name. They literally weren't. All that had happened was she was filed in the system under two names, her dead name
okay, I'm back.
and her current legal name. Her alive
This is fucking heinous, dude. This is fucking heinous. This is some of the worst content. It's the most difficult to cover content I've ever seen. It's like, what do you even say about it? It's just so pathetic and sniveling. Oh, God. How can I get through this? Can I get through this? What's this? White Forest have been denying that they threatened Xanderhal. I swear I saw them say that. They denied that they threatened Xanderhal. Also, someone said, never let Chud forget that Xanderhal, Chud held water for Xanderhal. I think my first call into Chud's stream was off Xanderhal shit. Or was it? It might have been after some open panels, to be fair. No, I don't think it would have been. This one.
I swear I didn't hear you bring up the fact he destroyed evidence.
I did, you retard. It's not my fault you're not listening. I questioned him about that and asked him.
When was this?
What are you fucking on about? What are you fucking
13th of July, 2022.
listening to that conversation?
Yeah,
You're
almost
just a
2
fucking
years ago.
schizo Kiwi Farms poster. The one who really goes super hard on Xanderhal because you got a fucking hate boner for him, okay? You're a fucking schizo.
You're right.
You're a fucking
I've never
schizo.
posted on Kiwi
Get the
Farms.
fuck
That's
out of
total.
here.
That's blood
Get
libel.
the
That's
fuck
complete
out of
blood
here,
libel.
schizo. They absolutely despise Xanderhal with every shred of their being.
Yeah, true. I do. Problem?
I think like the most well-known.
He's, oof. I mean, I wouldn't. He does troll. He's fairly smart. Wait,
I don't know.
who is Lanny in your chat?
Lonnie's
I've
my
seen this
girlfriend.
already.
Oh, nice. She's a fucking moron. So like, she even just did it to me. What I just said was that is transphobic. Sorry, go ahead. What were we saying? Oh yeah, the infrared guy. He's like he's a big. Still protecting them. Treat them like equal people. All right.
Get so
guys,
cool
yeah,
a joins.
Retard. It's not my fault you're not fucking. Let's go. Right, what have you got to say then? Come on.
Going, yeah. You avoided like every hard question.
I didn't avoid every
Oh,
question at
man.
all.
You did. You did. You didn't bring up the fact. I swear I didn't hear you bring up the fact he destroyed evidence.
I did, you fucking retard. It's not my fault you're not fucking listening. I questioned him about that and asked him.
Okay, well, fair enough. Fair enough. You brought it up, but we still can't verify any of this shit he said about the drug lab. He
I
said,
think I fucked that one up because my internet literally dropped out for like 5 minutes while I was watching the stream, and I think I missed the moment where he brought that up. I went in and I just took his word for it because he said he brought it up because I knew that I'd missed like 5
Yeah,
minutes. of it.
obviously. Yeah, I've got no way to fucking verify that, have I? Obviously not.
but he just comes on and says it all. It seems like he just like, oh yeah, that sounds good, Zan. Oh yeah, I kind of understand why you.
What are you on about?
Why you fucked
I mean,
up.
he
What are
did.
you fucking on
Let's
about?
go back. Let's watch that original call. I don't want to watch me. Where's his original one? His original interview with Xanderhal. This one.
Well, now you better believe I'm pressing charges. She's going
Oh,
to prison.
man.
She's going to prison. That's what's happening.
Well, at least you have somewhere to stay at that point, I
What?
guess.
Is she in prison?
Yeah, she'll have somewhere
Is she in
to stay.
prison?
Yeah, no, she's going to prison, guys. I'm pressing charges. Like, why the fuck wouldn't I? Like, what am I gonna leave her to be homeless?
she in prison?
Like, unironically, like, I'd feel like it's the kinder thing to do. Unironically.
Guys.
What happened,
I
Zan?
woke up this morning, I looked on Twitter, and I was like, amazing. Someone else is going. Okay, I'll call you now.
She's not in prison.
I don't know. Someone's saying a bunch of shit that's nothing to do with you, but try and make it about you. That's my take on it.
Yeah, like, I think the reason why she did this is because I'm not a very public person. Like, with my personal life, I try not to make most of my like private life public, you know, generally. It's just not a good idea. Like, the internet's kind of rough. It's not good to do. And so I think she just saw this as an opportunity to I guess.
I actually I spoke to Lainey at the time, because we did a stream on Xanderhal like a couple weeks after this. I actually probably have basically interview questions I never leaked. Because I just don't think I ever used it, because we couldn't like verify which side was true. So it's like, why would we bring this shit up? Let's leak these now. I probably can. These are. I mean, I said that these were for a stream, so I mean, there's no reason why there would be no expectation of me not leaking these. I mean, obviously, I can't verify either side of the story here. This is just what Lainey said about this situation at the time. As we all know what Xanderhal said about it at the time. She was running a meth lab in his apartment. It's not leaking, really, because I said they were questions for a stream. They were questions for a stream about the situation. I mean, that's not... Jesus Christ, it's not leaking at that point, is it? This is just like an interview I did. Fuck. It's that guy. Okay. On this. There we go. That guy was raging the other day, wasn't he? Very funny. Alright. So, I was like exactly you want to say. I felt like my original tweet longer did a fairly decent job laying out my side of the situation, so I was surprised so many people interpret it as being some kind of accusations against Alex personally, which it absolutely was not supposed to be. If you have some questions, I'm happy to answer them as best I can. I don't think I'm up for being on anyone's stream at this point. I was like, were you able to get the cat back? Nope. What was the deal with the state of the apartment during / after the breakup? I know you said Zan trashed it. He said you were running a Breaking Bad meth lab, but refused to show any evidence. Any thoughts on the way he portrays stuff on Chud's stream? Said, the last time when he was in the apartment, it was perfectly fine. He had trashed their bedroom while I was trying to stay away from the apartment at his request. It was impossible to walk across it without tripping on all sorts of random stuff. My shoes, handbags, clean, dirty laundry, etc. I spent a couple of days putting everything away once I started staying at home again. So by the time he was at last there, the house was back to normal. The meth lab he pretended to be shocked by was actually 3 mason jars and a half-empty bag of Mimosa Hostilis powder. I was making DMT, not meth. I'm sure Alex knows this, because he was the person who taught me how to make DMT over a year prior. He'd asked me to order a new bag of the plant material he would extract it from, because he wanted to make more. He knew I had it, and not moved out. Had he not moved out, we would have been making it together. He had talked about using DMT on his stream numerous times. As far as the things he said in Chud's stream, it's actually the YouTube video on the subject I've bothered to watch. In my personal opinion, the way Alex came across in that conversation painted a far worse picture of him than my tweet longer did. I tried to be sympathetic to his point of view, and said in it that I wasn't blaming Alex for everything that happened, which I stand by. Alex's attitude on Chud's stream was just kind of gross and off-putting. If you're giggling and giddy at the thought of someone you were very close to suffering, you're immature and petty at best, and a massive fucking asshole at worst. So Alex talks about this call he had with an ex-friend of yours. Is there a catalyzing event for the breakup from your perspective? Alex has never met the ex-friend he's talking about, but apparently he had a long phone call with her. I haven't spoken to that person in more than 2 years. I ended our friendship when I found out she was sneaking around and sleeping with my last boyfriend prior to Alex, after assuring me countless times she was not. Alex broke up with me via text while I was at work. It was a bit of a surprise to me because the night before, everything had been fine as far as I could tell. I'd gotten home from work, Alex and I watched a movie, and I went to bed. Alex gave me a little explanation beyond, "You're a master manipulator, move out now," and has still not had a conversation with me about it to this day. Since I watched this video, I don't really have much insight into what they talked about on the phone. So, I mean, that was Lainey's story. It's a fucking moth here. I actually caught that. That's pro. That's based. Okay. Why didn't you ask about stealing money? Well, I mean, I figured she just stole the money. I just assumed she stole the money. Was it not confirmed she stole the money? Well, I think the dispute was that she had claimed that Xanderhal had allowed her to use it, right? So it's like what? It's like we literally can't determine that without knowing. Yeah, exactly. She said it was being used for groceries. That she was essentially like, you know, handed over the keys, hand over the card. So. It was more the drug lab that I was interested in, because that was just crazy. I mean, what she's saying sounds much more likely than the meth lab. I'm going to be real. But whatever. Let's try and watch a bit more of this.
Live name, right? Clara. And the reason for that is Keffals has a criminal record going back to before she legally changed her name, so her pre-transition dead name is in the system because of her previous criminal record, and it's not transphobic that they keep your new legal name as your present name and your dead name in your fucking criminal history filings, okay? But that's what she tried to claim as, like, dead naming. Didn't happen. That was a lie. I don't believe that this happened.
We've known that for so long, Xanderhal.
Like, considering how much she's lied, the idea that a female officer groped her breast and said, "Yep, it's a she." That's insane, dude.
Yeah, really?
That's actually, like, cartoonish. I had never heard that until now. Literally right now is the first time I'm hearing this.
What?
If she lied about that, how are we supposed to trust anything she says? Exactly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, Rip, I've been forced against my will into YouTube.
Yeah, exactly,
chat.
right?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Listen, I wanted to talk about all this shit
exactly,
much sooner. But you have to understand on multiple fronts. A, me talking about it when I was in my drama with Keffals would have just probably taken too much attention away from the fact that what she did wrong was scamming, allegedly, and taking from her fans, allegedly. Rather than, like, being a liar who slandered me. But, like, on top of that, isn't it better that this is all isolated being exposed? And isn't it better that I'll admit, I kind of do admit, I'll admit, once again, I will admit, I low-key kind of like when I spend months and months of getting shit for being correct, and then eventually everyone finds out how correct I was, and then I get to hit you with it. You guys know what I'm about to hit you with, right? I told you so.
No, you didn't, retard. You stood by her for 2 fucking years when all of this was known to any rational person. Any actually rational person who engaged honestly could have told you a year ago, 2 years ago, Keffals is a scammer. She's destroying people's lives. She's lying about who doxed her, and she's using it to do irreparable damage to fundamental principles of a free and open internet, like the fact that Cloudflare, a fucking service that is responsible for the DDoS protection of the vast majority of the internet, from what I understand, suddenly allows one website, because of the type of people that use it, or the type of people that post on there, despite all being legal, they decide that one website is not allowed protection from illegal attacks. They call themselves, Cloudflare themselves have compared themselves to the like fire service of the internet, fire department of the internet. They compare it to that. It's like saying, if you're mean to Keffals, the fire department will not come to your house. By their own admission, that's what it's like saying. That is what she has done. And you knew that. You saw that. That was the point. And you stood by it. And you stood by the fundraising. And you supported the fundraising. You got your fans to donate. Fucking pathetic. You don't get to win. It's not, I told you so, you prick. You disgusting fucking reptile. Stoner cunt. Monetization. Monetization. Dude. I hate this guy. I hate this guy. He's so pathetic. You do not get to do the I told you so. You do not. You do not. You do not. You are one of the biggest marks. You're one of the easiest fucking marks who was on till right near the very end. Only when you got personally slighted did you jump off the train. You weak prick.
I love when I get to be proven right months and months later, and everyone's like, fuck! Turns out Xan was the good guy that time, once again. Damn it, you know?
You weren't the fucking good guy, dude. You were lashing out because you were personally slighted, you fucking...
Listen, I am completely capable of being a stone and just taking the bullshit for months and months or even years.
Yeah, I'm a bitch. I'm a punching bag. Yeah, guys, I'm a fucking bitch punching bag. My name's Xanderhal. I'm a bitch punching bag. And everyone treats me like shit because I'm a bitch retard punching bag on the internet. Fucking...
Years.
Dude, he's so annoying. Holy fuck.
And harassment or shit talking.
Oh, harassment. Online harassment. Boo-hoo, ninja.
Clean, you know?
What was Keffals doing that you were supporting, retard?
I'm not a bad person, like many content creators seem to be under the surface.
You are! Yes, you are! You're fucking dirt! What? You are actual dirt. You accused your ex of having a meth lab and said she was definitely going to jail. You stood by Keffals and shilled her for 2 years, 3 years, however fucking long it was. Only now, after being personally slighted and the walls closing in, do you turn around and say, oh, well, actually, guys, I don't like Keffals the whole time. You fucking idiot. Someone needs to fucking... Oh, dude. Your parents were not bad enough to you, Xanderhal. Your mother was not bad enough to you, Xanderhal. I don't care how abusive they were not bad enough.
And so just by simply existing passively and waiting passively, eventually those that have, like, tried to fuck me over just destroy themselves because they can't keep themselves from doing some like cartoonishly evil shit like this and getting exposed for it because many of them are not like particularly smart, so they're not like intelligent enough to cover up their tracks when they do evil shit. So
yeah, no shit.
Person and you sit back and wait. It seems more often than not these people that are just awful pieces of shit online just destroy themselves. Turns out Xan is the main narrator of a Lovecraft story, possessor of forbidden knowledge who is proven right. True. They must have amnesia because they forgot that I'm... They must have amnesia because they forgot that I'm fucking him!
So I'm gonna be fucking sick, man. I'm gonna actually throw up. This is fucking horrible, dude. This is so fucking bad. This is... Dude, how do people watch this guy?
Yeah, I'm fucking him.
Yes, fire Xanderhal into the sun. Yes. Yes, please. Let's fire Xanderhal into the sun. Holy fuck. Yes. That's such a good idea.
Yeah. If you say I'm fucking him the right way, it sounds, or the wrong way, I guess. The right way? Who knows? It sounds gay. It sounds like you're saying I'm fucking him, you know? Anyway. The investigation itself is irrelevant. Personally, I am always skeptical of internal police investigations anyway. That's what's relevant is when reporting on the investigation's end, the London Free Press reached out to Keffals' lawyer to comment and got this. Lawyer Justin Anusman, who is reporting or representing Keffals in the human rights case, declined to comment on the internal London police and SIU investigations. Quote, we are unable to comment other than to say we will continue to be seeking justice before the Ontario Human Rights Tribunal,
it's fucking horrible.
Anusman said in a statement. Yeah, I am fucking him. When given a perfect opportunity to update the public on the proceedings of the case, her lawyer gave us no indication the case had progressed at all. Not even so much as a confirmation that the application was accepted, despite the fact that it definitely should have been by now. The next time she talked about it would be on February 5th, 2024, where she said this. While this may seem like the case has progressed, take note of two things. One, she claims the process could take a minimum of 2 years. However, we know that this isn't true. It says so on the website. Two, she's being vague. Papers have been processed and we are awaiting dates to appear in the tribunal. I'm told this could take a minimum of 2 years at best and 6 years at worst, depending on if this gets escalated to a higher judicial body. The reason I ultimately decided to go through the Human Rights Tribunal rather than a lawsuit. I like how the plan here for her seems to have been to just like set the time scale, because like just trust me, bro, on this stuff. No one's gonna research it themselves except for Rox apparently. Basically,
no shit.
Her goal was to set the time scale for when any real news or follow-up or like closure could come out about this on such a far time scale that anybody who actually donated to this cause probably wouldn't even be active in her community anymore by the time that time limit had been reached. Like the amount of people that leave your community and get replaced effectively in 4 years, much less 6, is wild, dude. It's like bones replacing their cells, you know? It takes like 6 or 7 years, but eventually they're completely new bones, like a Ship of Theseus thing. So it's really interesting how she set that time scale to a literally unfalsifiable time frame, right? Despite the fact that in real life it's not an unfalsifiable time frame. Like this should not take this long. It doesn't take this long. It just doesn't. She hasn't said the HRTO accepted her.
Freeman's gonna make a golem after stream and send it to Xander like a goddamn Terminator.
Application, for example, merely that papers have been processed.
Dude.
Even more suspiciously, she deleted the tweet within 7 minutes of posting it. Please excuse my chicken scratch math with screenshots to prove this. The reason I ultimately decided to go through Steakhouse lawsuit going, any updates, posted immediately by the author. Don't worry, not sure why it was deleted, but we'll make sure to repost it here. And the post about the reply from 7 minutes later shows the tweet was deleted already. So it seems like within 7 minutes she deleted the tweet claiming that papers have been processed and they're waiting for dates to appear in the tribunal.
I can't do this. I'm gonna. Sorry, 1 minute.
Then it'll take 5 to 6 months from the filing date towards HRTO. Yep. Nowhere near 2 to 6 years. Nowhere near that time. 5
Let's
to 6
just
months.
get through
Nowhere near
this.
2 to 6 years. We're literally multiplying the amount of time it really takes here in her claims. My best guess,
1.5.
It was a bad idea to publicly lie about this, which brings us to the third time she talked about it. Oh, wait, that's the last she ever said of it. At least the last time I managed to catch. Remember, the deadline for a hearing was a month ago. Also remember, by now she has already long since spent the money allocated for a legal case, and her financials and frequent absences from streaming since going to rehab make it extremely unlikely she could afford to pay a case out of pocket anymore. So, guys, if you don't remember, one of the biggest things that Keffals victimized herself over when I, covered her lies about me back during the drama, one of the biggest things she got really, really upset about was that I had mentioned, in a very non-attacking way, I had mentioned her drug addiction. Like, I had mentioned that people were attacking her for her drug addiction, and that I was there for her. And people got mad at me. By the way, I mentioned the wrong drug and corrected myself. And when people saw, like, the correction for some reason they didn't see my previous post where I was like saying the point. They just saw the correction where I correct myself on what drug. They said, why are you bringing up her drug addiction, Zan? Why are you bringing up her drug addiction, Zan? It's like, listen, I'm not shaming her for her drug addiction. I'm not attacking her for it. But I think, especially here, it's relevant. Like, if somebody has had a severe drug addiction, it is a somewhat relevant factor in their decision-making. You might know this if you have ever dealt with someone who has had drug addiction. I have. Y'all know I have. But yeah, it was very bizarre.
Someone's got to... Laney, do something about this. Do something about this, Laney. Laney, sue him or something, please. Laney. I don't care what for. Just make this guy's life miserable. Laney, I'm begging you. Sue this guy for something. I don't care how founded it is. Just drag it out. Make him miserable. Make his life hell.
People are giving me a lot of shit for that. But I will say, at risk of the same thing happening again, Voss speech, insert Voss speech, do you know what the definition of insanity is? I'm going to do the exact same thing once again. Or actually, no, I'm going to go even further. I'm going to go even further beyond. I'm going to point out, guys, she started the GoFundMe and raised the money before going to rehab. The money is gone. These are two true statements. Now, I don't know how you spend $200,000, but I'm not going to lie. I have my suspicions. And if she did spend the money that way, I hope it was fun. Because, good God. Fucking hell. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it's literally, she was already set to make 6 figures before the 100K made through the GoFundMe. And mind you, the GoFundMe is still open and still raising money beyond the 100K, by the way. It's not over. That or she took up Warhammer, or guns, or something. Like, you can't spend that much money on much. There's not many things you can spend that much money on that aren't, like... God, it's difficult to spend that much money. It really, really is. Like a car, maybe? Like a really top-tier car she could have bought? That's possible. Like a, I think... No, I think some of the, like, most expensive cars you see on the road, like, generally are around the 100,000 plus range. So she could have bought a Bugatti, I think? Or there's, like, 700K, 200K? I think Bugattis are 200K. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are Bugattis 200K? Thereabouts? The Bugatti, yeah. Anyway. Regardless of how she spent the money, we do know that it's depleted, as she said in those DMs. Also remember, by now she has already long since spent the money allocated for a legal case, and her financials and frequent absences from streaming since going to rehab make it extremely unlikely she could afford to pay a case out of pocket anymore. Altogether, the evidence very strongly indicates that her case with the HRTO died a long time ago, and yet she has continued stringing everyone along, probably in hopes of staving off getting cancelled, as she was clearly aware she was at risk of. This is unacceptable. To reiterate, Keffals lied about spending 20K on moving and recouping costs, Keffals lied about putting the remaining 80K plus into a legal fund, and Keffals is lying about the status of the case to this very day to keep people from asking questions about what she did with the money. So what can we do? First, since Keffals is clearly uninterested in transparency, we must take action ourselves. Here's the link to Keffals' GoFundMe. Everyone who reads this should submit a report to GoFundMe for fraud at this link. I guess there's the link if you choose to do that. Next, if you unfortunately are one of the people defrauded by Keffals, you should submit a donor claim here at GoFundMe. Lastly, you can retweet this thread to raise awareness and hopefully demand financial transparency from Keffals. To conclude, I would like to address Keffals herself. Clara, the people trusted you. For years, you said you were fighting for young trans people and for the freedom of your people, and all of it while you were lying to their faces for money and benefited only you. Do the right thing. Fucking hell, dude.
This guy sucks,
You guys might remember... You guys might remember that, I was working on a nuke.
Fuck, it's cold.
You might have heard me mention the word nuke a couple times, like, just in passing, you know, just like nuke. Did you guys hear me, like, use the term nuke in reference to this drama back, like, months ago? I was very vague about it, but I said I was working on something, and the video I ended up dropping was very underwhelming in my opinion. Frankly, I was, like, upset that I even had to make it. Unfortunately, I just wasn't able to include the vast majority of this info about this stuff or about some other things that I can now talk about. One of them is that Keffals is a massive backstabber. I had leaked to me by somebody who is very much a trustworthy source and worked for Keffals. I had leaked to me several DM interactions between them and Keffals in which they tried to suggest where Keffals not only talks about, like, planning backstabbing of people, but also tries to plan out getting me to backstab people with her. She is, like, a massive hypocrite, and I've known this for a little while, and my opinion on her was just continuously grinding down time over time. And eventually that, like straw broke the camel's back on stream. And unfortunately, I just didn't do the best job of presenting my side of things. And Keffals was able to fully grab the reins on that entire drama and steer it towards this perspective of her being a victim of my, like, evil, implied that I'm misogynistic and trans-misogynistic, like, insane. Like, at a few points she says she thinks COVID, because I've had COVID a few times, like, deep-fried my brain, and like, I'm a different person now. Like, very bizarre shit she said about me. At one point she said she doesn't think I have friends, all that kind of stuff. Bro Keffals dropped, like, 5 videos about you during the Fallout. Guys, she dropped 8. Do you guys know how many times I made a stream/video about Keffals? In total, 3 times. And one of those things was me going onto her stream and talking to her while live. Not talking about her, like, behind her back or like, with her not there. She made 8 uploads on me. Combine the streams and videos together, it's 8. She milked it. If I even responded to a donation mentioning her,
he's such a fucking
drama,
victim,
she made a
isn't
segment
he?
about it. She banned me for saying, "Is this the 8th Xan stream?" in chat. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. She was banning people. She called you an incel at one point.
It's not about you, bro.
Well. She called me
it's
a freak
not
a few
about
times,
you.
like a misogynistic freaks. Game if you fell for it. Come on, guys. I won't be mad at you. It's not. It's not
it's
shameful.
so obvious.
Granted, I did not defend myself well. I literally could not. Hypers in chat.
You only turned on her because she was going for you. You did not make any altruistic choice here. It was not. You were not doing a good thing. The way he keeps.
If you sided with Keffals, it's okay. Hell no. I mean, to be fair, presumably most of the people that sided with Keffals back then don't watch me anymore. Trans Gallenpal did. My GF did. Initially. Sunbeam, Lucky Otter and Sunbeam Boy did. Okay. Oh, people I want to call out. People I want to call out who are in Keffals' sphere, who are in the know about all of this and her other weird shit. Oh, on top of that, you can call Keffals weird. Or you can call, like...
You don't get to call anyone out,
Keffals
dude.
can call Kiwi farmers weird for their weird stalkery behavior, which I do believe is weird, but she is a hypocrite. Can I find it? I saw that it finally leaked the other day. Yep, here it is. This was also going to be in my nuke. Oh yeah, Nicholas Diorio has a thread of stuff that was leaked to him, and a bunch of these are screenshots from my nuke that I was originally going to release that Nicholas Diorio is posting here. One of them is, this is Keffals' server that is called, I forget what it was called. It was called the Gay Ops server.
Yeah, it was given to more competent people. We understand, Xanderhal.
Like, Keffals always referred to it as the Gay Ops server. And this is literally a Discord server where, if you can't see, it is centered around, like, just Kiwi Farms, like, stalker posting and, like, archiving of figures they don't like. So Keemstar, Augie RFC, Boblax, Nicholas Diorio, Turkey Tom, and Flamenco, who, granted, Flamenco is a weirdo, but, I mean, fucking hell, this is arguably getting to Flamenco levels of weird towards him, ironically. And apparently the Completionist had a section for a bit. Weird shit. But these are... Velvet is one of the people, now an ex-fan of me, that left my community during this drama, who is very much in Keffals' circle, aware of this shit, and, like, a big-time orbiter and dick rider for Keffals. I forget who this person's called, like, Femboy something, I think is their username. Might go by John Cena now, I'm not sure. Gayfesh is, like... There's a reason why I banned Gayfesh so long ago, because my radar went off, okay? My weirdo bad person radar went off with Gayfesh, and I banned them, like, a year ago, and turns out this whole time Gayfesh was part of the, like, Keffals orbit. The only person who wasn't in, like, the know of this stuff was Cherry. Cherry had suspicions and heard whispers, and then when found out about it, well, Cherry doesn't work for Keffals anymore. Yeah. Not a thing. Not a thing anymore. Good call,
okay.
Yeah. Also, and here's a big thing as well. Originally, Cherry did not want it to be known that, that they were working with Keffals, because they just didn't want to get the heat that Keffals gets as, like, a residual thing, you know? Just a natural thing. Very normal, right? I'll work with you, but I don't want to be, like, I'm not a public figure, okay? This is my job, is to clickety-clack on the keyboard and edit videos. I'm not a public figure. Keffals, on the other hand, though, during the drama, outed that Cherry was her editor and fired her, Cherry, live, I believe. If I recall correctly, fired Cherry live. That was fucking awful. Xanderhal,
that's like a drop in the bucket in the Keffal.
Good this week. It's me. I'm eating good. Yeah, Balthazar knew all of this shit as well. Balth has probably just been, like, absolutely bursting at the seams wanting to talk about this shit publicly. What the fuck? That's so cruel. Yeah, Cherry also got banned from Keffals' chat during that drama as well. Temporarily, granted, but Keffals, like, immediately assumed Cherry was, like, siding with me when, like, the disagreement happened, and
I hate
banned
this
me and Cherry as like a bundle, you know, as a...
I'm not doing anymore. No, we're done. But he actually keeps going.
Any unbans potentially? Maybe. Yeah, and of course the woke SJW villain teacher looks exactly like Vosh when he had the man bun.
Okay. I don't care. I so don't care. I can't stand this. I don't know if there's even anything else to look at. I genuinely can't do that. He's not saying anything. He just makes me angry. He's just pissing me off.